Charter school was not set up for the rich and privileged. But come to 2012 to 2016, 90% of all those who went to Achimota were only privileged. Omo papa was called my mom, Echo Achimota. And Omo papa was called at the good primary school, Achimota. So when we started the free SHS, a headmistress of a certain school remarked, school Ipana, exit, car park empty, but the rich.
I cannot be excellency when the excellency is here. Thank you. I am Commander General. What are you doing? What are you doing? In short, the excellency is here. The next Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. Joey, we are young people here. We are youth. So I like energy. So when I don't get energy, I don't feel happy. So if you are young people here, and you are fired up. I want to see some energy.
I'm not hearing you from the back.
As well, Ghana, because he is already the vice president. You always hear the NDCs saying the economy is bad, the economy is bad, the economy is bad. Throwing dust into the skies, and you always have blurred vision. But as intellectuals, I want you to know that the economy is in good shape. You always see the NDC saying that during Professor Mills' administration, bread was sold at 2 cedis. Nana Danko Akufo-Addo's administration, it is sold at 20 cedis. And people believe them, forgetting the fact that what we use for bread is not cultivated in Ghana. Wheat is cultivated in Ukraine and Russia. It is a cash cow for these two countries. Now they are fighting. The surrounding countries that are producing wheat are not producing enough. So if you happen to be a beneficiary of these two nations, what will you do? Will you sell it at the highest price or the lowest price? If it was sold at $10 per bag during Professor Mills' administration, now it is around $1,000. So how then do you buy wheat and then come down here to produce bread and sell it at 2 cedis? When they are just throwing dust into the skies, people that don't just sit down and think about where we are getting the raw materials to produce the flour and then the bread. I am telling you here today that you are blessed, because for me, when I was in the JHS, we were 45 in number, but only two had the opportunity to go to the secondary school. Your colleagues are home now. My colleagues, the people I completed JSS with, they are still back home. If you see them, they are fast aging. Some of them look like 70-year-old man. The women are equally the same. I am telling you here today, your future is secured. You are having the best of education in Ghana. And I'm 100% sure that the policies by His Excellency Dr.Bawumia and the Vice President Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh is going to go a long way to secure your future. You are my backbone. You are the backbone for the party as far as Madina constituency is concerned. People see UPSA as our stronghold, and I want to believe that come December 7th, you are not going to relent, you are not going to relax, you are not going to stay in your hostels, you are going out in your numbers to canvass for votes. And when we are jubilating, we will come to the UPSA and jubilate with you. You raise the flying colors with you. And His Excellency Dr. DrBawumia and Matthew Opoku Prempe Doctor will never forget you. What we are doing here today is just to establish that social connection, so that after graduation you will still come back to us for us to help you. Thank you very much, and may God bless you all.
Before I speak, so that I also don't get into trouble, let me acknowledge the chairman for NPP Washington DC, Janice. She's my chapter chairman. So clap for him. I think he's here somewhere. Provoy, Your Excellency, the future Vice President of Ghana in 2025. Honorable Madina, Member of Parliament, my own brother. Tescon. 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 Commencement. That may be some. I was expecting some of you to correct me. But we have 18 days to win the elections. 18 days for all of us here to justify our commitment to the new patriotic party. All of you here have 18 days to deliver Madina and the country for the new patriotic party. So for the next 18 days, we are not sleeping, we are not resting until victory is delivered. So if you are here with me today, as we leave this place, every person that you meet is a potential voter, and every person you meet should and must vote for the new patriotic party. Our task is very, very simple. We are number one on the ballot. All of you take out your phones. If you have mobile phones, take it out. Let us ensure that by December 7th, everybody whose number you have taken, make that call to that person. Boys, the numbers are managing girls singing our numbers across the week singing our Mumfrobia. Let's ensure that everybody that we know, let's not take it for granted. We speak to everybody and ensure that our victory is double sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I will have a quick 2 minutes message from the MP of Tonagi. To do that introduction, help me welcome
One of the most prolific politicians in this country, one of the most competent, the SHS Vice President, the most competent running mates you can have. So what? Dr. Opoku Prempe, the visionary, man of competence, man of vision, man of ideas. Dr. Opoku Prempe. we have a whole day's lecture that we have to attend. So bear with me. Let me take just about 30 minutes of your time. Just 30 minutes. Just you don't have lectures today, that's why you're saying that. Only 30 minutes. In 18 days' time, in 18 days' time, we'll be voting for a new president. In 18 days' time, we'll be voting for a new parliament. But the single most important message for you is that in 18 days' time, we'll be deciding your future. So when you go back to your hostel, take a piece of paper and write, in 18 days' time, what would I want my government to be doing for me? Don't say what will the government be doing you. Say, what do I want my government to be doing? Because whether you decide to vote or not to vote, whether you decide to vote for NPP, which I'm here to canvass, or vote to any other party you like, pick a piece of paper, and today, black piece of paper, and write, what would I want my government to be doing? Because no matter the person who wins the election is your government. If you look around all the contestants and you look within yourself, which of them would I want to be on the international stage speaking for or by behalf as a Ghanaian? You look at all the presidential candidates and you ask yourself, which of them has the integrity to be able to lead Ghana? You look at all the presidential candidates and you ask yourself, who will be on my side? You look at all the presidential candidates and say, who can be with me for this future journey? Because it's simple. When we wake up Monday, 9th December, by this time, 9th December, the Electoral Commission will be declaring a president as the president-elect. For me, let me tell you a fact. The future doesn't belong to me. Because I am current. The future doesn't belong to Dr.Bawumia because he is current. He is the one that is going to lead you into the future. So check all the presidential candidates. Take their picture. Go and look at their video posts. Look, watch them closely. Watch them closely, all of them. I think they are 30 or 30 minus 1 or something. Check all of them and ask yourself, who can be my father or who can be my mother, such that the person will think about my well-being. All elections is about your well-being. So if you decide you want the person who will open 24-hour disco because your life will be 24 hours in the disco, you have the person. When I was your age, I was in KMUST, and I had to make a decision at that time. Who do I want to lead the future? I can tell you that time, it was 22 years ago. Or was it 22 years ago? 1992, 32 years ago. 32 years ago, I'm sure 90% of the people in the room here were not born. But I was in your shoes. And I was supposed to choose who I think can lead me to the future. That time there was no Tescon. But we formed a party and students group for one of the parties. The party hadn't been in power before. We have only read about them in history books. But when we read their manifesto and we listened to them, and we didn't have a multiple of radio stations, so you have to strive for the manifesto and read for yourself. We decided that the country that can best champion the future of our youth was NPP. So I didn't stop. I struggled to become the NPP leader at that time, students leader at that time. And I was in a medical school. And we were going for lectures every day. We didn't have your day off like you do, my brother. So we were going for lectures every day. And we had to organize the party on campus. And it was not Tescon commitment, but with little inducement. It wasn't that way. It was NPP. We are going to work for you to make sure you come to power. Because I personally felt, when I looked around, all the candidates that are appearing or want to contest, none of them could be my father, except Professor DrBawumia. I wouldn't wish any of them to be my father. If you can't wish somebody to be your father, don't vote for that person. Simple. If you don't wish for prosperity for yourself in future, take your vote for joke. If you have gone through UPSA, whether you like it or not, you will finish within the next 3 years. So you don't care about tomorrow. Joke with your vote. Because it was not always like this. Just about 8 years ago, go and look at the pictures of UPSA, if you had it. 8 years ago. And go and look at the pictures of UPSA now. All I want to tell you is that leadership matters. And it is not 5 people. Leadership what matters. It is the person who is the leader who will change and better your future. It is not all NPP people who are coming to rescue you. But it is who that person is. So if you hear that somebody said that I don't care about students going to secondary school, and I'm not joking, go and look at the Educational Sector Report 2015 or 2012. You Google, you'll find it. In black and white, NDC said the secondary education is for only rich men. They don't believe that poor people to go to secondary school. And still say 2012, the person who signed that report is still alive. Yesterday, I met him at the funeral. That he was the education minister. And when they produced that report, they said, so what will happen to poor people? They said we should go and test all their parents to see if their parents can pay or cannot pay. Isn't it? But now if you test and their parents cannot see, what would you do for them? You know what President Mama said? He said, I'll let them work whilst in school, secondary school. I'm not talking about university. You let your son, you let your daughter, who is between the age of 12 and 15, or 15 and 18, work whilst in school to earn something to pay the school fees. Is there. So if somebody read it and decided that the future of the country is not safe under NDC, you will also have to read and listen to what they are saying now to see whether the future of the country is safe under NDC. Imagine, in Ghana, secondary education is the boarding education, right? Nearly 80% of all students are in secondary school. So, the best secondary school, the best college in Ghana is Prepare College. No two ways, right? No two ways. It's the only college that wins international robotic competition regularly, not once, the frying pan, regularly. It's the school of the future. We are preparing Prepare students for the future. Imagine there are about 1,500 or so, or 2,000 people in Prepare College. There's only one dining hall. And there are only about 10 houses with lavatories, toilets, and buildings. So if 30% of the students there are poor, and you say that they're in secondary school, and you say they should work in the school to earn money, to be able to pay their fees. What is even the work they can do in the school? Just ask yourself. So remember that if you didn't believe what you are reading, it is that same party that an minister came to sit on TV and said that there's so much work to do. If you like go to the bush and carry stone and come and put on the roadside, if you carry stone for 3 days and put it on the roadside, you will get money and you'll be unemployed. If you can't carry the stone, go and get a sickle and start cutting the grass. Start cutting the grass. That grass is not a concern that we eat it to. The guinea pigs will eat the grass and you get money. They said it. And you can Google. So it is not what they are written, what they are saying. So just 2 days ago, the Minister of Finance under DrBawumia Mahama, he should speak up. He said it's not everybody who is entitled to free SHS. Why ban the internet fee? Why ban the internet fee? But the story is even more difficult. If you think, when Kwame Nkrumah of Blessed Memory introduced partly free education in the North, especially secondary, President DrBawumia Mahama, his father was one of the richest Ghanaians, not rich man, one of the richest Ghanaians. At that time, he was in a boarding school called Achimota Primary. Only privileged people can take their children to Achimota Primary, true or false? But when his father heard that Kwame Nkrumah has introduced free secondary education in the North, his father took all DrBawumia's siblings, including DrBawumia, and all of a sudden, remember that they came from Tamale, took them there to go through free education. And this is the man that is telling you, if you are poor, don't go to school. Not only that, to listen to what they do. Recently, about 3 months ago, he was in Tamale. He said Tamale people are giving back left, right, and center, and that is why there is poverty. He even thinks that when you are poor, you shouldn't give birth. Because again, 2001 to 2008, all the people here, I call most of them Kufuor babies, and this is the reason. That is when President Kufuor introduced free maternal care. Before free maternal care, children or mothers will go to hospital to go and give birth. And if you didn't have money, you stayed in the hospital. They refused to let you go home with your baby and yourself. Till your family, they go and sell something and come and take you from the hospital. And then President Kufuor introduced free maternal care. As soon as President DrBawumia Mahama became the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, under President Mills, the first thing they cancelled was free maternal care. The next thing they cancelled was national health insurance. So even when you are poor, you should not be able to get access to health care. That's what they told. Then to make it worse, before President Mahama, before President Kufuor came, every child, when you're going to public school, it was called the shift system. You go 8 in the morning, you close at 12. Some come and start at 1 and close at 4. 4 hours of education in a day. That is what they offer. And if you are going to school, you became a power because your table and chair was on your head. Don't believe that it didn't happen. You find it incredible that it happened, but it was in Ghana. When President Kufuor came, he introduced school capitation grant in schools, and they stopped charging. And introduced school feeding because he felt that some children were from poor homes. Between 4 years, after 4 years of that policy, 4 years, the parity, the gender parity in basic school was 1-to-1. Equal number of boys and girls were now going to school. Because for the poor family, if he has 5 kids, he will check, this is the first girl born, you can go to school. This is the girl, let's prepare her for marriage. That is a simple choice. Because there's no money. Not everybody can go to school. This is the 4th one. He's very, very smart, but he's devilish. He's devilish. Stay home. This is the firstborn. He's nice. I'll name him after myself. You go to school. That was the educational lotteries the poor people had to go through. So you see, most families, it will be only one person who will be educated. And I believe in the Bible, and I believe that in every family, God creates the game changer. And if you miss that opportunity of the game changer, that family is finished. But even before that family, the game changer emerges, life's decision has been made, not in his or her favor. So before 2016, 80% of the best schools in the Ghana, basically the top 55 schools, right? That is called category A schools. 80 to 90% of those who went to those category A schools all had private education. So listen, just 3 days ago, I heard Ghana National Association of Private Schools are telling us that they are going to court to stop the free SHS for allocating 30% of placement to poor children who go to public schools. The audacity. The audacity. The nerve. So, if you say when you can go back to private primary school, finally go private secondary school. But the reality was that when I introduced 30% for equity, I didn't pluck it from the sky. It already existed, but abused for the well-connected and the privileged. They called it catchment area. So when the children went to do the exams and they didn't do well, they said, old boys, old girls. So when we started Achimota, where were the old boys and old girls? When they started Achimota for the first 10 years, they didn't have any old boys and old girls. But listen to them. Anthem of Achimota School from Ayawasu. Tell me, give me the words, please. Yes, you know yourself. Yes, you in black shirt, black dress. You know the team of Achimota School, right? You went to Achimota School, right? Get up for me. Listen, from Gambaga to Accra. From Riaso to Ghana. We are brothers and mothers. You know, at that time, when it was long vacation, thank you. I'll give you a present. I'll give you a present. When school went on long vacation, the head teacher of Achimota was mandated to travel around the whole country in search of not rich students, but brilliant minds and bring them to Achimota. That was the foundation of Achimota School. Achimota School was not set up for the rich and privileged. But come to 2012 to 2016, 90% of all those who went to Achimota were only privileged. Omo papa was called my mom, Echo Achimota. And Omo papa was called at the good primary school, Achimota. So when we started the free SHS, a headmistress of a certain school remarked, school Ipana, exit, car park empty, but the rich had not populated the school 100%. Right? So when it is time to vote, it's not a time to joke. When it is the time to vote, it is not a time to think twice. So if you are in a university and you fall for a Yezu, then you say, If you see anybody wearing NDC t-shirt on this campus, pray for the person. Don't think I'm saying that because I'm a member of the NPP. I am a member of NPP by choice, not by death.
By choice!
Because I was thinking, if you are in the university and you cannot think, who else must think? Just about 1 month ago, I went somewhere and I said, the reason why I cannot join NDC is that they killed seasoned pastors in this country. They say, Google, Odifu Ashari, in Kumasi, they killed 78 persons in a 2-week ordeal. Went to kill a policeman in Konfonote, shot the policeman on the hospital bed, and dragged Odifu Ashari, tied to a taxi, dragged him to Kweditia, and used him as a shooting target. Killed him. And 78 members of his church. Google. Why? But it happened. So when it happened, I have to know the history that this party, I have to be careful. Right? Then in 2014, 15, 16, you hear a presidential candidate standing on the platform saying and bragging, my party has gone revolutionary routes. We are not afraid of violence. If you do, we will visit you with violence. Then you know that your life is at stake, just as they kill some people. So when I say this is the party that kill people, I'm not just saying it too. I'm saying that we should never forget they did that, and they will never change. I said it, and I gave lots of examples. So if you are in the university, and you can't, now that all the information is on your phone, just Google and you'll find. Don't joke with your future. You are the ones who should go out there and propagate a better government for Ghana. There are people, when I started my political career, I met on campuses because I used to have a love for going to tertiary university campuses. Because if you look at the segment of people who don't vote, the our university or tertiary student girls, the ladies here, the ladies in Lagos, the ladies in Poly at that time, they don't vote too. Because Saturday or Tuesday, when it is time for voting, no, we need it. So we have to work extra on them to live up to their responsibilities. I tell you, go and check UPSA where you are. Go and look at the number of students they had in 2016 and check the number of students they had in 2024. You see the level of increase. Why? Because leadership matters. Why? Because leadership matters. When UPSA was constructing hostels to benefit students, some people, another leadership in another university, had collected money and chopped. That today, Ghana government is still paying. 2 universities. Bakukoji is Kanwale. Where? Bakukoji is Kanwale. I see them. So don't take it as a joke about when they are selecting leaders. It is not a popularity contest or a beauty contest. It is for somebody who is going to take decisions on your future. So, when I became Minister of Education, the total number of students in secondary school were about 800,000. Of that 800,000, I tell you, a third will not finish school. Go again to check Google. Every year, the Conference of Head of Assistant Secondary Schools in the North, CHAS, will close secondary schools for about 3 months because government has not brought salvation. When they started school, go and Google, 2015, Okujoto was all over the air. They did 3 rounds of school placement. December, they are doing school placement. So the first term, nobody went to school, like Form 1. And the academic calendar for SHS was 9 terms. Form 1, 3, Form 2, 3, Form 3, 3. Well, check. If you see, if your leadership is bad, everything is bad. So first term, they didn't go to school. And when they finished final year, They started WASI in January, February. So they missed second term and they missed third term. So 3 months out of the 9 are here. Simple reason why students' failure rate was high. So you look at the core courses: English, Maths, Social Studies, General Science, right? At no time before 2016 could they pass mark 40% in mathematics. At no time did they pass 45% in English. That is the basics. So when could they go to university? Every year, about 520 to 550,000 children are born. Every year in Ghana here. Leave out those who go to secondary school. You just take them out. Go to private school. Right? But BEC, well, check. It's always about 400.
Excellency, the incoming Vice President of the Republic. Colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, Kukrudu! Kukrudu! Hello! December 7th, we are going for a very crucial election. And I am going to give you 2 reasons why, as young people, we should have confidence and trust in the leadership of Dr. Bawumia and Dr. Matoboku Prembe. Are you here? Are you here? When Dr. Matoboku Prembe identified me, I was 32 years. Are you listening? I was what? But he didn't recognize the fact that I was a young man. I had no experience in public service. All I was doing my community service and doing my project to support communities in Ghana. But because of the confidence he has in young people, because of the confidence he has in young people, he gave me an opportunity as the Chief Executive of the Ghana Library Authority. So if you are a young person here, especially for those of you that are in this room, this election is about you. Because this is an election that you yourself can confidently say that you are part of making NPP win and break the 8. Did you hear what I said? Did you hear what I said? So please do any comparative analysis of these 2 variables. There is nothing else that you come to except one conclusion, that the pair, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and Dr. Matthew Opoku Prembe, are far better than John Dramani Mahama and Professor Jenana Opoku Ajaman. John Mahama failed as president, no vision, corrupt, bad. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as vice president, vision, over 33 policies, competence, absolutely good, man of vision, ability to think outside the box. Now, let's talk about the vice president. Competence, Napo, 100%. Ability to deliver, 100%. Trustworthiness, 100%. Let's take Jenana Opoku Ajaman. Competence, 0. Competence, 0. Ability to deliver, 0. Charisma, 0. Everything, 0. So, how can a hopeless team give you hope? 0. Everything is 0. How can a hopeless team give you hope? They cannot give us hope and cannot take us to the next level. We want competent leaders who can deliver, and not just mere words, but the track record should be there to support them. That's why today, this man can beat his chest and say, free SHS is my handiwork. I implemented free SHS, one of the biggest policies in the last 50 years of our nation's existence. I say this all the time. My name is Salam Mustafa. I come from Tamale in the northern region. My father was not rich. My mother was not rich. But today, every single young person who identifies with the New Patriotic Party, wherever you are in the world, be it Ukraine, even if you're on Mars, I lead. Why? That a young guy from Jakarta in Tamale is the youth leader of the New Patriotic Party. It's because of education. It's because of education. Once it has lifted Salam, it can lift you. That's why we should be proud and let no one ever place their icy, deadly hands on our education, because it is the panacea to success. That's why young people, your decision counts on what will happen on December 7th. And I want to urge and beg you, all of you, everyone should go and vote. I've met young people who tell me, oh, me them say we have a shame, it means me and tuaba. Who want tuaba will be paid tuaba now. Nya won peno, I'm sure na obi abeyi enwama. So what will you do to make sure that your choice counts? You must go out and vote. And you should be asking yourself, who am I casting my vote for? Are you voting for competence? Are you voting for delivery? Are you voting for success? Are you voting for your future? Don't just go and throw your ballot about, but it should count. And that is what I want to put before you, an entire Ghanaian youth, that we have a decision to make. We make it for ourselves. When we put a plane right now here and ask, how many people want to go to America? A lot of people will run onto the plane and go to America. And I'm like, what? But the America that you are going, nobody came from the skies. Angels didn't descend to build those great nations. Human beings did. The difference between us and them is vision. Thankfully, in this country, we have seen two people who have shown